guys, welcome to an update. This is the Ford SVT Lightning yeah, for the Chevy Cheeseburger box stock build 2014. Yeah, so it's been a little while since I've made a video for this build, so I've just been working on it this morning. Just gotten off the ISM. Can't remember who had it. It might have been Sebastian, I think, from Dutch Modelling. He had his hangout this morning, and I was Gilbert Mondragon was kindly enough to invite me on his hangout with all the boys. So I actually got a chance to meet all them fellas. Yeah, so always a good chat with everyone. Just getting to meet everyone on YouTube, so yeah, get my ugly face out there, and so everyone knows who, well, basically just want to know who I'm talking to and what they're like. But yeah, so just want a big thanks to Gilbert and for having me on there. Yeah, so this is it, guys. I'm still working on the cab. I've only got I was a bit sort of and ahhing about whether to put the side skirts on here before I put the internal cab inside. Just got a few parts over here. I'll just get out of my little tray of goodies that I've been working on. Yeah, so I've still got another side skirt to go on here, so I'm almost just about ready to put this on and just give this a quick prime. So that basically goes there like so. I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see. Oh wait. Yeah, so we've just got side skirt to put on. I can prime that, and that way I can start laying down the base coat. Still undecisive of what colour I'm going to paint this yet. I'm just going to do some test trials on what colour I'm going to do. It's either going to be, at this stage, I'm going to try to get a purpley blue metallic, super dark, so it's almost black, but you'll just see the tiniest hint of the bluey purple, or might be just a midnight blue, very dark yet, I'm not too sure. Like I said, I've still got to mix up some samples on a bit of plastic card and have a look at it and see how that turns out. The engine block, I'm really happy how it turned out. That was just using Mr. Hobby's, what was it? It was the burnt iron, and that was like really dark, but then a bit of dry brushing, a bit of, I think it was the Citadel's, I'm pretty sure I did, I think I used the Citadel's Bad Ad Black wash all over here, and I've just done a few rust, well, it's not rust, but yeah, I guess it's kind of rust, but sort of used heat treatment, heat details in there. If you want to see all the videos, just go to the got a few videos up at the moment. Just go to my channel, just go to 2014 box stock community live build. I think it's in build number 3. Haven't really sort of had a chance to do anything at the moment, so just been, yeah, it's a weekend now and been pretty busy this weekend, so I'm going to do a bit more work on this. And yeah, so just a lot of dry brushing with, what did I use? I used, if I can remember correctly, I used Model Air steel. Yeah, just dry brushed all that on there, and then yeah, sealed it all up. I had also, between, once I'd done the Mr. Hobby dark iron, I think, yeah, that's it there. Yep, so just to give you a quick look, hopefully it still works. It should be no seal on there, if you can see the leftovers on there. But if I just give that a quick, should buff up still. Okay, it still buffs up on the bottle, but you can see how, yeah, just if we get the light on there, see that it buffs up quite nicely. Yep, that's all it wants to do. So that's that. Yeah, done the same with this. I used the Mr. Hobby, I think it's a stainless, I think it was. Yeah, the stainless, all on here. But I've still got to get a brush, fine detail brush, and paint all the fan belts and all that stuff in there. But sealed all that up this morning, and then I've just run over it with a bit of Citadel's Bad Ad Black in there, just to get all the recessed details to pop. And so, where's the other piece? The other piece is just here. There you go. Yeah, that's it there. So just got a little bit of touch-up work to do just to clean it up a bit, and probably put some, I don't know, just some kind of oil stains or something in there, some weathering stains. Who knows yet? I'm just building as I go. Like, I'm just experimenting with things, because like I keep saying, I've never built a detailed car before, or box stock anyway. Or to be honest, I've never built a car this detailed before. I have built a car before, but it was just nowhere near like this, so I'm still playing around with it. Radiator, I'm really happy with how the radiator turned out. It's all the metallic work that you see, it's all being used by the Mr. Hobby buffer balls, and so that was using the burnt, the dark iron, sealed it with the Model Master sealer for the metallizer, just, so buffed it, sealed it, and then I washed it with, I think it was two. I did use a Citadel Bad Black, which is, if you guys have never seen it, if I can find it, because it's, god damn, what did I do with it? Yeah, so just Citadel's Bad Black, and yeah, just so buffed it, sealed it, washed it, and then used all-clads, not all-clads, used yeah, once again pretty much the same colours I used on the engine block, steel from Model Air, just dry brushed that on there, and then just left it the way it was. I've still got probably a bit of touch up, probably a bit of black to do on top here. Yeah, so I don't know, the light doesn't really pick it up too well, so if I can, I'm not worried about the injector pin marks, because by the time the radiator fan housing goes on here and the radiator fan gets plopped on the back there, you're not even going to see all the injector pin marks, so once it goes like that you don't even see them, so that's why I wasn't worried about trying to sand it. And with all the grills and all the mesh that's in there, like, it's going to be really hard to get it out, unless I really want to take the time with some putty and bog it up and then re-scribe it all, and yeah, it just wasn't really worth the hassle. So there's the engine block, there are the fan belt pulleys, yeah, so there's the radiator fan. I just used some nice tan colours, some cream colours from Tamiya, thinned down with an airbrush, and then just used Devil in Mud, or whatever the new colour is called, Agrax Earthshade from Citadel, straight out of the pot, thinned down a bit, and then any excess residue was just cleaned up with a damp or a wet brush and blended back into the radiator fan blades. So the camera picks it up nicely. So yeah, you get the idea. There was just dry brushed with a bit of what was it? Like a cream colour from Life Colour. I think it's still in here. It is here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Incinerated White from Life Colour, which is like it's not really white, it's more of a cream colour. Like, probably on the camera it picks up as white, but it's more of like a cream ivory colour. And yeah, so chassis all assembled. A few things I've still got to put on. Still got to put like some disc brakes on the back, and don't know what I'm going to do yet, because I still want to weather all inside here. I do want to weather the chassis. Like, I'm not just going to leave it semi-gloss black or whatever you're meant to do on a chassis on a vehicle. I don't know. It's just going to be experimentation, and like, I've got to learn for myself. Just talking to Gilbert this morning on the Hangouts, Gilbert Mondrag, and he normally says he just dry brushes it, but with some steel. But being an arbor modeler, it's pretty hard just to stop there. I'm going to want to do much more than that. But yeah, thanks for the tip anyway, Gilbert. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm going to do a lot more than that, because I want to put dust in there, wherever dust and dirt's going to sit, or road grime is going to sit in all the cross members here on the chassis, especially around the back here where the spare tyre goes. Going to put a lot of grease effects, especially in here where all the ball joints are. Like, it's going to be that subtle, you're not even probably going to see it, but you know, just for my own sake and my own sanity, I know it's going to be there. and the front bumper's still black primer, but the actual interior itself, I'm actually pretty happy with it. None of it's glued together. What I'll do is I'll bring the camera down a bit more and I'll zoom in a bit, just get all this out of the way. Okay, so what we have here is the dash. I've already got the decals in there for the speedo, the tacho and everything like that, and I've actually sprayed that with XF85 rubber black, which is the tie colour from Tamiya. Basically it's a really dark grey, but I didn't want a black dash, so it actually turned out quite well. Dry brushed a bit of Model Air steel in there just to break up the blackness or the darkness of the dash, and just with a very fine makeup eyeline applicator, just use that because it's kind of like a Sharpie pen. That's probably the best way I can describe it. The bristles, like a new tip is like a Sharpie pen. So once you put a bit of paint on there, as you can see, like this one's been used, so you can see that it does flex a little bit. But when they're new, it's like the bristles are fairly stiff on it. And that's not the one I used. I think it was the one I used. And just a bit of colour in there on the buttons, and then just sealed all that off with a bit of pledge, so I could put my washers down. Then just put a bit of Bad Ab Black from Citadel in there and just cleaned it up with a wet brush once again. The interior itself, the tub, was sprayed with a very dark grey, and I just smothered inside with some of this Flory Models black weathering wash. It's basically a clay based wash, like a sludge wash basically in a bottle. You just lay it down, let it dry, and then just rub it all out with a wet paper towel or a wet cloth. Wet cloth, whatever you want to use, just as long as it's not abrasive, just only slightly damp. You rub it out, obviously sealing it or gloss coating before you put that wash down, because otherwise it will just bite into all the paint. And then use that wash as a pre-shade, and then with an airbrush, a sort of low air pressure, no needle cap on the top or on the end of the airbrush, so I get the fine spray in there, and then just layering the colours. I think I used like a medium grey, and then I used a light grey. I think I used XF80 from Tamiya. That's not a Tamiya jar. I've actually decanted it. I've actually started ripping the labels off the bottles now and just using some sticky tape and sticking it on there. Thinned it out 2 to 1, 2 parts thin. It's probably a little bit more now. I'm starting to thin my paint out just a slightly bit more, so it's probably like 2 and a bit. Probably about 25 mils, not even that, 23, 24 mils worth of thinner to a 10 mil pot. So it'd be pretty close to 25 mils worth of thinner in there, and it's a 30 mil bottle, so a 10 mil pot will give me nearly just over 30 mils of airbrush paint. And then just you can see the work in there I've done. So it's all kind of shady and okay, and then done the same with the seats. Had a couple of goes. I tried using the Flory Models black wash in there to wash it all and rub it all out, but that didn't really seem to work. It sort of made the seat really dirty. I sort of had that effect over the whole thing. So I kept that back kind of dirty, behind the seat. Bit of dirt sort of picks up behind the cab, unless you're like a clean freak who owns a car. But me owning 4 drives and that, my seat sort of gets pretty dusty at the back. So, and then end up using Tamiya's panel accent line colour, the black one. Had to redo it, re-gloss it, and then just done all that again. And then using same technique as I done with the cab, just with a really fine spray, just sort of re-highlighted the edge of the seat, still leaving some of the dark grey behind, and then that was all brush painted with a very dark grey. I think it was by no, it wasn't that. It was one of these. It was black grey, I think it was. Black grey from Vallejo model colour for the seats. and that's still got a bit of the wash in there, like I sort of left it in there, but I've still got to get an airbrush and sort of respray all the ends here just to highlight the tops of the dark grey, especially around here. I'm going to do all this again, and then those seats will be finished, and then pretty much the same technique with the door panels, internal door panels. That's a Tamiya accent panel line colour, and then just use various like bits of silvers for the door handle. Like, it's not to replicate real steel, it's the silver coating that you get on the plastics. Like, there's a lot of door handles nowadays are plastic, but back in 1999 I've never seen an SVT in the real flesh, so I wouldn't even know what that's made of. So yeah, it's just artistic license just to give it, that'll do, just to break up the greys. I didn't want the whole panel grey. The chassis, that's pretty much the update, guys. So oh yeah, before I forget, one last thing, that's the exhaust. So if you haven't seen it, you couldn't really see it on the Google Plus live builds that I've been doing, just because it's from webcam. So yeah, that's it there. So that's just using Agrax Earthshade from Citadel over the, it was actually used the Mr. Hobby stainless, I think it was, which is, it's like a stainless steel colour, and really it polishes up really nice. It's almost as, it comes up as almost as bright, not the same, but almost as factory chrome plating that you'd get when you get a chrome parts on it when you get a kit. But yeah, I just don't like the chrome parts. Factory chrome, I always strip my parts anyway, but this wasn't chrome, this was just plain old white styrene, base coat in black, and then just polished out, let that to dry, it's sealed, and then just using Bad black and Agrax Earthshade around the area, and then just applied all that. On the muffler itself, I mixed a bit of 50-50 Bad black and Agrax Earthshade on there, so just to give it that, I don't know, that dirty sort of heated look. And then just drilled out a couple of holes in the back with a pin vise, just to give it, the exhaust some more detail on the back. Being box stock, I probably wasn't allowed to do that, but this just, I'll probably get penalised for that, but actually didn't even think about that when I was doing it, I just did it, and it wasn't until after I'd done it, it was like, oops. But I think a little thing like that I probably should be okay, hopefully. But if not, I'll know for next year. So that is the update, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the traps. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.